Are you aware how the running dialogue that you have inside your head can affect your work ethic, it can affect your training, and it can affect your ability to prepare for day-to-day life or high-intensity scenarios? In this mental fitness class, we're going to go over some of the warning signs that you need to look out for, and we're going to go over some of the benefits of you being able to have the emotional awareness and strength to be able to address these scenarios. So to start with, let's start with some of the warning signs that you need to look out for. Now, we're going to spend a lot of time talking about the self-critic, and a quick hot wash on the self-critic. Self-criticism is any negative or counterproductive thoughts or emotions that you have, and these can be internal or external. These can be what you're internally telling yourself, or this can be based off judgments that you think they have of you or your actions. So how can this affect us? Well, for our work ethic, if you're showing up at training, if you have the discipline to show up for training and you put in the hard work, whenever the self-critic's too loud and it's time for you to tell him to shut up, the things that you'll hear being said inside of you is that the work that you're doing is not good enough, or you're not progressing toward goal. There'll be a lot of nevers, there'll be a lot of always inside of this, telling you that the hard work that you're doing is not enough. Listen, if you're showing up, it matters. Don't ever listen to anybody tell you that, right? The discipline required to show up will always build towards a goal. Now, let's talk about the other part. In this one, we're going to be talking about intensity. Regardless of what profession you have, Air Force, Marine, Army, police, firefighter, or staying at home going to office meetings, there's intensity that shows up inside of our life. Maybe it's in the traffic drive to work. It can be anywhere. Right? One of the warning signs that we want you to start looking out for is whenever intensity from situations or events that happen, and these can be from training events as well, whenever that intensity starts to bleed over to other compartments of your life. If you find that intensity spilling over, that's a sign that the self-critic is too strong inside your head, and once again, it's time for you to start telling him to shut up. See, whenever that intensity starts to spill over into other parts of our life, it bleeds over into places that we don't realize either. Because the self-critic will also make us very blind. It really starts to eat away at our awareness. We won't realize the effects that it's having on our relationships. We won't realize the effect that it's having on our productive or our effectiveness. Most importantly, and this is one of the big signs that you'll start to see throughout your day, is it'll cause you to be busy for the purpose of being busy. Great key at the end of your day, if you find yourself rushing, ask yourself why you're still busy. See if there's a blank spot for you being able to put whenever you pose yourself that answer. Now, what are some of the benefits that we can get from practicing self-compassion, from practicing emotional awareness, from having the mental strength to address what's going on? Well, first, that hard work that you're putting in, listen, you showed up. You did the hard work. It doesn't matter how little it was or how much it was. It was a progression towards your goal. And this is the big-term picture. This is the long-term picture on it. If you showed up and you did the work, it is building towards something else. And whenever things really go sideways, one of the facts that we know is you fall back on your training. The person who practiced good emotional strength, good emotional awareness, and valued the training that they put in, valued the hard work, and had the discipline to show up, whenever they fall back on their training, it's a good backstop for them to be able to bounce back from. As opposed to the other side, the person who had self-critic, who devalued their training, who never believed that it was good enough, who consistently used those always and never terms, whenever things go sideways, they find a way to start using blame. Whenever things have gone that way, it's a time for action, not for blame. So we want to be able to believe and build on our hard work to move forward. The second part is how it affects our intensity in our day-to-day life. So we want the ability to take the intensity here, to keep it here, to put it here, to really hammer hard at what's going on inside those events. And we don't want it to spill over into the other parts of it. One, because we want to have good, healthy relationships inside of our life. And whether it be at home or whether it be with their battle buddy, we've all had the toxic battle buddy. And that dude sucks. And the last thing we want to be is that guy. Don't be him. Keep your intensity boxed up. Be the guy that people can lean on, and whenever you need help, whenever you need to lean on somebody, you'll discover that people are there willing and waiting to help you. So keep your intensity inside there, address it whenever it needs to be addressed. The second part of it is how it affects our ability to train. See, one of the endpoints that we finished with that I always point out to people in this program is that busy for the purpose of being busy. Whenever you're busy for the purpose of being busy, you also start to degrade your production. You produce less. See, whenever you're busy for the purpose of being busy, yeah, you're doing more work. This guy's doing more work. This guy's getting more done. That's really what we want to be. We want to be productive, right? So I'm able to be fully focused and attentive on the task that at hand, and I'm able to maximize it and be able to be very productive. Over here, where I was a little bit pulled away on this task and a little bit pulled away on that task and a little bit pulled away on this task, at the end of the day, there's lots of productivity that was missed out that the person who was practicing self-compassion was able to maximize and was able to capture. The second point on it is your training. If you find yourself being pulled away, that intensity where it's bleeding over into your day, whenever it's time for you to conduct your training, for you to better yourself, see, we always have to earn complexity. In order for us to earn complexity, we have to gain mastery. In order for us to gain mastery, that requires that we fully understand and that we have good technique. That technique's built through repetition, and us being able to focus on each rep, so that way we're able to master that. Right? So you see how that chain goes all the way through for us to be able to engage in really complex activities. But if we're having that intensity bleeding over at the start, we're never able to fully focus on that and develop and gain that mastery. So what are some of the warning signs that we need to look out for? We need to look out for intensity bleeding over into other compartments of our life and us being busy for the purpose of being busy. And we need to watch out for, and we need to be aware of whenever our work ethic starts to be degraded and picked at, either by ourselves or by others, whenever we're using that never and always terminology to define the training events that we're going to. What are the benefits of us being able to engage in the emotional awareness part of the programs and engage in that self-compassion? Is we're able to be more, the training that we go to are keystones for us to be able to push back on. They're keystones that us are able to build on. They're us building towards a goal. They're us going and progressing. And that intensity, it doesn't affect our relationships. We're able to be the good battle buddy. And whenever we need help, people are there to help. Our battle buddies, our teams, our loved ones are there because we're able to control our intensity that engages our life. And we're able to gain mastery in the techniques that we need in order to engage in complex activities. I hope you find this class useful. Thank you for your time. Pressure is a privilege.